Hi everyone, my name is Samantha and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sewing in Switzerland. So today I am with 3 team potatoes, but Wobbles is laying kind of in front of me, so you can't really see her on the camera. She gets a little bit of tummy ache with all the medications and whatnot, and she prefers the cold of the wood as opposed to the comfortable soft bedding. I think the extra pressure maybe helps alleviate some of the tummy pain. So she is here, so you can probably hear her snoring because she's in a really deep sleep right now. So yeah, you'll probably hear her, but might not possibly see her today. So today is a fun one. There have been some new releases of sewing patterns within the indie sewing pattern community, and we've covered a lot of new sewing patterns that have come out recently from the big 5, so it's only, or the big 4, or technically the big 1 now. So I thought it kind of makes sense to have a look at the indies too and see what we've got going on there. So there have been some really fun releases. I think this is a fantastic roundup. I actually think that I would probably make these, which is a high praise, I would say, coming from me. So we're just going to get straight into it. The first one that's come out, and these have all come out around May, June time, so they're very, very new patterns. The first one on my list is Sew House 7, and they are the Oxbow Pants, and they've labelled them as a twist on traditional jeans, which is quite exciting. So there's 2 different views. Both have got high-rise, curved waistband, front and back patch pockets, back darts, zipper fly, and a large button closure. Whew. So we've got a lot going on there. At first glance, you remember I was saying on the previous pattern releases for the big 4, whatever you want to call them, they were showing inspirations from the noughties era, and we were seeing a lot of this kind of wide-legged pant, especially wide legs that kind of start up here on the thigh and then just kind of run down. So very exciting noughties influences, and we're starting to see that now infiltrate the indie sewing companies as well, because I think this definitely looks like, with the high waist and the very kind of wide leg, is a definite throwback to the noughties, right? I love them. I'd wear them. I think they're great. So looking at the promo pictures, we do have a little whiskering there on the front kind of crotch, where you get like this little extra fold of fabric that folds under, that usually indicates that maybe the front rise is perhaps a bit too short or a bit too low. I still think they look great. Those kind of style of trousers, they relax anyway, and you get the kind of movement with the fabric. So I would recommend with them making a muslin. I would with all jeans, to be honest. These are going to be a pattern that I make. I haven't made them yet. It's definitely on my radar to make. I think that they would just look gorgeous, maybe in like a really nice orangey or like a burnt rust colour for autumn. I don't know, or maybe just like a classic pair of like black jeans. I don't know. I think the possibilities are endless with this one, but I really like the pattern. Yeah, I would say there's a little bit of drag lines underneath the bottom area as well. So maybe a flat seat adjustment if your thighs are particularly slender there, or like you've got a little bit of extra room normally. But again, without making them fast, I wouldn't know what adjustments I would make or would necessarily make to them. So I'd have to make them, and then maybe we do a sew along or like a review together or something. But I do think they're gorgeous, and I think they look fantastic on. We got some really nice finishes there. We've got that fly zipper, we've got the big button there. I wanted to ask actually how you're all getting on, or how you feel with the zips. We haven't done a skills share for a while, mainly because I've been so tired looking after team potatoes, and I haven't really had it in me to do a lot of like self-care. I haven't done my nails, for instance, and that always like puts me off on filming my hands, but maybe I could put some time aside. I know you're all thinking, Sam, that's obvious, you look like Stick in the Dump, when are you going to brush your hair? Jury's out on that one as well, I'm afraid. So yeah, maybe we could look at zippers as a school shirt. Do let me know in the comments if you would like, because there is lots of different ways to install zippers. There's not like a one technique fits all, and I say this all the time about sewing. There are so many different ways to achieve the same technique, and some of those ways might not work for you, and some of them might just click and you might think, yeah, that's the technique to get to this skill for me, that works for me. I always recommend having at least, you know, 2 different ways, or knowing 2 different ways to achieve the same effect. So yeah, there's lots of different zippers, there's lots of different ways to install them. If zippers are, and there's a lot of patterns that have come out or are coming out that I've noticed that have zippers, so yeah, if that's maybe something that you would like to have a school share on, do let me know in the comments, and we can put a few together maybe. I don't know. So yes, just checking my notes, see if I've missed anything. Or sizing is 00 to 34, and I will say about Sew House 7, I do rave about them. I do think that they're definitely one of my favourite indie sewing companies. I think their instructions are fantastic, their photos are fantastic. I really enjoy the company as a whole. I think their style, their aesthetic is very, very good. The communication with Sew House 7 is brilliant. I've never ever had a problem with one of their patterns at all. So, you know, for me, they're definitely up there as a fantastic pattern. So yeah, maybe we make the Oxbow together. Why not? Why not? Let's put it on the list, shall we? Number 2, let's skip ahead, is the, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, the Silmu shirt. Silmu? By Named Clothing. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, which, you know, 90% of the time I am, let's be honest. So it's described as a loose fitting shirt and a midi length shirt dress. So you've got like 2 options there. The dress has waist pleats and pleated half sleeves. The shirt version has a back pleat. They've also listed it as an uneven hem, which I would probably call an asymmetric finish or maybe a stepped hem. But I think that's what they mean when they say an uneven hem. So I like the shirt. I think the shirt is nice. There's nothing groundbreaking about it, to be honest. It's got a nice back pleat, but again, you know, we see them very often in shirts. For me, I would have liked to have seen the collar just a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, am I boring you? I would have liked to have seen the collar maybe a little bit bigger. But that's probably because I have a preference for the dramatics. So, you know, if you're into that kind of smaller collar shape there, that might be the one for you. It looks like a nice, well-fitting, comfortable shirt. There are other shirts out there, yes, for sure, but that does look nice. I enjoy it. I like it. I like the shirt. The dress, I'm not so sure of, and I think it's because of the fabric choice. It looks to me, and I think it's a combination of the waist pleats there being prominent with the fabric choice. It looks kind of 1940s trad wife aesthetic, you know, that traditional wife movement that's around where they dress very kind of modestly. It gives me that kind of imagery, but again, I think there's probably a combination of the styling and the fabric choice. I would probably make it in a bold print to dull some of the harshness that you've got there with the waist pleats. However, looking at the promo pics, I will say the button placket looks excellent. There's no puckering, there's no misshapenness of it. It sits very flush to the bust and all the way down. There's no kind of gaps or anything, so it looks like a very, very well fitting dress. So if you're looking for a midi dress with waist pleats and a button placket, that could be the one for you. I'd probably make it in a print though. So sizing 32 to 56. Just checking my notes, see if I've missed anything. I tend to film this unless, you know, the puppies all cause a ruckus. I tend to film it all in one go. So I keep the images of the patterns and all the information in my head, and then I have some like limited notes to follow. Sometimes I get halfway through and I'm like, oh, what was this? So, you know, we're on a roll today. So off the top of my head, I will say Named Clothing have also brought out 2 other patterns within the same time frame. These were all released in May. One of them we're gonna just skim over completely. I will put the link for the pattern in the description anyway, just so you can have a look. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the Taimi. It's spelled Taimi. I don't know how to pronounce it. Taimi is probably what I would call it. But do please correct me in the comments, because I'd like to be schooled and I have a terrible thing of pronouncing everything wrong. So it's just your standard, and the reason why I'm not really going to go into great detail here, it's just a standard scoop neck, sleeveless dress with a gathered skirt. And that's about it really. It's dime a dozen. There's loads of them out there at the moment with that very, very similar kind of trapeze style silhouette, nice and light and breezy. It's listed as an intermediate, which I thought was a bit unusual because to me it looks like a beginner, but I think they've put it as an intermediate because it's maybe bias bound around the armholes, and I think there's also a bust dart in there as well. So, but it looks pretty easy looking at it. So if you're a beginner and you're thinking that's a perfect dress for me, that would be a great one for you. But there are loads out there at the moment that are the exact same shape. So yeah, I'm just gonna skim over that one and move on to something slightly more exciting, which is again also by Named Clothing. So all 3 of these came out in May. These are called the Verso Trousers, and they're listed on there with the information that they are straight leg high water trousers. And I think it's a typo. I think it should say high waisted trousers, unless there is a new sewing technique where we all have to be submerged in water when we make them. I don't know. I think it's just a typo. I'm hoping it's a typo because I can't swim. Okay. And also the second version of the same pattern is shorts with a small side split, and they have an invisible side zipper in sizes 32 to 56. Again, I like the shorts. I do like the shorts. I think they're fun for summer. And we've seen a few of these come out in the big 5 summer patterns that we've been looking at. We have actually seen that high-waisted sailor style short pattern, and I'm trying to think, I've seen maybe 3 of them already come out from the big 5 this summer, so there are quite a few out there. And again, we're getting this kind of resurgence of noughties inspirations there, so I like them. They look comfortable. They would make some great shorts. I enjoy them. They look nice. Again, with the trousers. So the trousers, I'm just not sure on the fabric choice and the styling. I would probably pick, well, I would definitely pick a different fabric choice, purely because this to me looks a bit medical. It looks very clinical, and I think combined with the front patch pockets there, I would just kind of omit them entirely and let it be its own focal point. I wouldn't draw attention to that necessarily with those patch pockets there. I would wear them. They do look very, very comfortable. They look great for summer. They're kind of like a looser fitting, high-waisted pedal pusher, I would say. So they're nice, but definitely not in that fabric. I will say as well, there's possibly some adjustments needed, so you might want to make a muslin first with these. I have noted that you can see that the fabric's causing slight drag lines and kind of collapsing in on itself towards the back of the knee, around the back of the thigh there. So make a muslin fast because you might need to make some adjustments. Puppy has just woke himself up snoring. Don't we all? So yeah, just checking if I've missed anything. No, we're doing good. We're flying. Number 4, another trouser pattern. So we are seeing a lot of trousers this season come out, which is cool. They're all very, very different as well, which I like. I do like it when you get a handful of patterns that are maybe similar in... Bless you! We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen, alright? So, next pattern. Merchant and Mills, and they're called the pegs. And they're basically peg trousers with a fly front, angled pockets and turn-ups. You can also half line it if you want to make it for winter and make it out of like a woolen fabric, which is pretty cool. Sizing is UK 6 to 28, so that could preferably do with expanding, but you know, we'll take what we're given. So I like them. I do really love these trousers. I'm a huge fan of peg trousers or turn-ups anyway. I'm just going to stop this puppy off screen because she's going wild. And, oh, she's coming back. So I am a huge fan of this style. And I do find with the styling of Merchant and Mills, it can be a little bit hit and miss. Because sometimes I find that their photos or, you know, their styling is often done in like black and white or like really grainy, so you can't actually see the pattern itself. Also, I was talking to a friend about this once and she described it as, described their styling and their like promotional style as Victorian chic, where you've got this kind of crumpled fabric flat lay where, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just a very interesting way to showcase your patterns that I perhaps would like some more ease of seeing what's going on there. But you know, these photos are particularly good. I like them. I think they're great trousers. Again, I'm probably going to make these. So there's lots of photos of the slim model there, and we get a lot of photos of the front, side and back, which is always good. The plus size or the fat model is one photo off center, walking kind of off camera, and just that one photo and no photos of the back or the side. So I would like to see some more photos of the plus size or the bigger models, because I think it's not great when you have lots of photos and only one plus size one photo, and it wasn't even, you know, like center front. I don't like that much, really. Feels a bit like internalized fat phobia, but maybe they're doing more photos, maybe more are coming, I don't know. I do like the trousers, and I do like Merchant and Mills patterns. I do think they're pretty good. So yeah, let me know what you think. Are you going to make them? Do you like them? Now, number 5 is the Ella skirt from the company Forget Me Not Patterns. Now, this is not a new pattern, but it's a new release of the same pattern. And they have expanded, and they are working on expanding their pattern collection for larger sizes. So we're seeing here new size range, extended size range from 28 to 56. They've improved the instructions, and they've also included now projector files for anybody that uses a projector for their pattern pieces, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I love it when a company takes accountability and they say, okay, do you know, we've got these patterns, they're in these sizes, we're gonna make them more accessible, we're gonna make them bigger, and they just kind of work solidly in the background, churning them out, doing what they can. I I got a lot of respect for that. I got a lot of love for that. I will buy this pattern. I will make this pattern. I think the promotional photos are really good. I like that there's photos of it looking quite gothic, quite wintry, and then the same pattern looking very summery. I think that highlights its versatility. Got distracted by a puppy. I think that highlights. I'm very tired, so my attention is easily pulled to these dogs at the moment. So I think it's got a lot of versatility. I will say, having now re-released this pattern in larger sizing than what they were, I would have liked to have seen more photos. There's only one body type, one model that has this slim skirt, like the model is slim wearing the skirt. There's no plus size model photos at all. I'm hoping that's something that's going to follow. I would like to see that. I think that is a missed opportunity. I do think that is a missed opportunity to have taken a fat sewing model and showcased the re-release of these new extended sizing, rather than just leaving the slim model as the only kind of photographic option there. So yeah, just check my notes, see if I've missed anything. Oh, okay, so this skirt, it's an A-line gathered skirt. I should probably tell you what it is, right? Come on, Samantha. 3 different lengths, gathered tiers, 3 different pocket options, invisible zipper, and a hook and eye finish. So as I mentioned, we are getting a lot of invisible zipper features, or different types of zipper features cropping up. So do let me know if you would like a couple of skill shares where we maybe talk about zippers, different types, how to insert them, my preferred way of inserting them, other different ways you can insert them. It's always fun. It's always a good skill to have in your arsenal. I think it sounds a bit scary as well, like you're taking this difficult thing and it's got teeth and you've got to sew it in and line it up, and it can feel quite overwhelming, you know, but it's easy to do. You can do it. We can all do it. It's all fine. So 5 new indie patterns. What do you think? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you have any strong thoughts about them? Do let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And that's it from me and Team Potatoes today, who have been on a little bit of a wild one. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you. Oh, and if you do like the video, do please like and subscribe, because it makes me very happy. Thank you so much. Bye.